So hello guys, welcome back to the next tutorial video of the series, the map RPG series, sorry. Well, in this video we're going to actually make a map editor so we can actually edit our map and bring it a bit more to life. So instead of just making some stupid little thing with a couple of tiles on it, we're going to actually design a proper map this time. So all we want to actually do is just come to our directory and we want to make a new Python file and call this map editor. Map editor. By the way, you don't have to make this map. If you want, you can just download my pre-made map editor. But if you want to make your own map editor, then just feel free to follow along. So inside here, we're going to edit with our IDLE or whatever you prefer to edit with in Python. And yeah, so the first part is just to make a basic window. So we're going to import Pygame obviously because that's the module we're wanting to use. And what we should probably do is import some of our custom scripts. So from scripts.ultracolor import all. So we'll import our ultracolor and we could import our textures as well. Textures. Right, so we've got just our normal things we made. So next part is to actually just create a window. So I'm just going to go window equals pygame.display.set mode. I'm going to set a default width and a height of 1280 by 720. So 1280 by 720. This will give us enough space to actually like move around and see our map properly. So pygame.hardware surface, and what we could do then is just set a caption. So pygame.display.set caption map editor, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly make a clock. And the reason why we need to make an FPS limit on this is because otherwise we're going to move too fast, because in this editor we're not going to use delta time, as it could cause issues with the way that we have to move across our tiles, because otherwise it's going to make it 10 million times more complicated to get to draw the tile where you want to draw it. So you'll see what I mean later probably. So I'm just going to make a quick clock equals pygame.time.clock, and below that what I want to do is just set a variable called isRunning, set that equal to true. So this will always be true for as long as our game loop's actually running for. So the next part is to just start our while loop. So the main loop, while is running, we'll just go for event in pygame.event.get if event.type is pygame.quit, then is running equals false, and then well actually we'll import sys as well. Sys. Now we'll just do pygame.quit sys.exit, and then inside here we'll just let's say pygame.display.update. In fact, you know what, let's just say window.fill color.blue. Let's just fill it with a blue background for now. So let's test run this, see if this actually creates us a window. Yeah, there we go. We have a window with just a blue background which has our title and stuff. So that's good. This is a good enough window for our map editor. We really don't need anything any more advanced than this. So what we should probably do now is actually just create some default variables for our default terrain, and then we can start making a module, not a module, sorry, a function that will export our map and a function that will import our map. Now, I don't know if I'm going to do the import map one today because that's a bit different, so I might just leave that in for a different video for now. So let's just set at the top some default variables. We'll just set text font. We'll set a new font, pygame.font, c:/windows fonts TTF, size 20, and then I'm just going to set a default tile size. So in fact, no, we don't even need that anymore because we have tiles.size now. So yeah, we can just use that from our textures tiles class. So we'll set a mouse position. So mouse pause equals 0, and then we'll say mouse x equals 0, mouse x, mouse y, they can both equal 0, and then we could have a default terrain map width. So map width for the default terrain it's going to create, we'll just say 100 times tiles dot size, and in fact map width, map height, they can both equal 100 times tiles dot size. Brilliant. And then what we're going to actually do now is make like a little tile selector, so we can actually select our tiles. So when we put our mouse over a tile, it's going to highlight the tile that our mouse is over. So all we can do for that is just make a new surface which supports alpha, so you can draw a little translucent square. So we'll just say selector equals pygame.surface, and we'll just set that to tiles.size, tiles.size. I don't know if you've noticed, but for some reason today I can just type so fast. I'm not sure why. That's the thing, some days I can type fast, some days I just can't type at all. Surface pygame.source alpha, and then we'll just fill that selector.fill. We'll fill it with color dot with alpha, which is another. This is another function in my color class, ultra color, which you can add alpha to any color you want. So you could say color dot with alpha. We'll put the alpha as 100, so it's translucent. Because you remember in alpha, it can go from up to 255, or no, sorry, it can go from 0 to 255. So 100 is kind of halfway, not fully halfway, but almost halfway. So it adds like a little, it adds a nice effect to it. So we'll just do color dot corn flower blue, because that's a nice one. And the next part I'd say is to actually, I'd say that's alright. But in fact, what I might do is just create a tile data list. So tile data equals empty list. And what the tile data list is going to do, it's going to store all our tile data that we've actually drawn to the map. So any tiles that we try and paint are going to go into this tile data thing. And that's how it's going to get drawn. So yeah, we're drawing it a bit of a different way to our game. It's going to work in a fairly different way. So what I'd say we should do now is actually we need to make some camera variables. So camera x equals 0, and then camera y will also set to 0. And actually, you know what? Camera move can also equal 0, because that's going to control which way we're actually moving. Now we need to make a brush variable, which will have the tag of whatever tile we're wanting to paint, or object, if we're supporting objects in the future. So brush, we'll set it to equal 1 by default, which we can just put, this is grass, because 1 in our tiles.texture tags is grass. That's 1. So yeah, so actually I think that's good enough for our initialization variables. They should be all good, I think. Just checking if I've missed anything out. And no, I don't think I have missed anything out. So the next part is to actually add our clock to the loop, so we have a steady frame rate. So clock.tick, I'm going to tick it at 60 FPS, because we don't really need to go any higher than that at all. This kind of thing, that'll move us pretty fast. So the next thing we want to do is actually basically just start drawing our terrain, or we'll just draw a default terrain. So what I'm going to do is just initialize a default terrain. So here, I'm just going to say initial above our game loop. By the way, don't draw this in your game loop, otherwise it'll initialize every time, causing a very low frame rate here. So initialize default terrain or map. We'll call this map actually, just because it's not really a terrain. I don't know why I was calling it terrain, but well, no, it is a terrain. It's just we'll call this one map just for a change. And all we're gonna do is make for x in range 0 to map height, and we'll increase that by our tiles.size. Then we'll loop for our y, so for y in range 0 to map. Oh wait, am I doing map height? I meant to do map width, not map height there. Map height tiles.size. Then what we're going to do is just say tile data.append. Oh god. Append, and then we'll make a new list. Just put x, x, y, and our default, whatever we want as our default texture. So I'm going to do 1, which is grass again. And that should create as a default terrain, but you can, if we run it now, we're not going to actually see this terrain because we've not told it to draw the tile data. So what we need to do is simply just come down here, and before our update above our background, we need to draw map. So I'm gonna just make a bit of space as well down here. Just gonna say for tile in tile data, I'm gonna say display.blit, and what I'm wanting to actually do is blit each different texture that we want to blit, so depending on what our tag is. So all we need to do is say what do we want to blit. First we want to blit our tiles.texture tags, and that is our tile 2, and we'll blit that at our tile 0, tile 1, or plus camera X as well. So tile 0 plus camera X, and then we've got tile 1 plus camera Y, and that should blit it at our position that we specified in the initialization. So what I'm actually going to do is put this into a try, because just in case we can't blit it for some reason, we should probably just catch the errors without the entire application just crashing or closing. So I'm going to do try and put this in the try, and then we'll just accept and pass. In fact, no, we'll print something out. No, because that'll just cause our console to get fill up. So we'll just accept to pass, and let's test run it. So, and for some reason we can't actually see our map. I'm not too sure why. Let me just take away the exception a minute, because we must be getting some sort of error somewhere. Here we go. Display is not found. Okay, I know why. I'm an idiot. It's not display, it's window. I don't know why I always keep calling it display for some reason. Here we go. Now we have a little map, and we can't move around it yet, so we need to actually code in our camera movement, which is basically just exactly the same as our actual game. So I'm going to put this back into a try now. See if that still works. Yeah, it does. Right, okay. So what I'm going to do now is actually just code up a few more events. So I'm going to say if event.type is a pygame.keyDown event, if event.key equals, and which key are we wanting to use for our movement? Well, we're wanting to use pygame.keyW and a few others. So all I'm going to say is camera move equals, just copy and paste this. What? In fact, you know what? We'll just copy and paste the entire thing again. And then Ellie. Oh god, can't type today again. Like, I was typing alright earlier, now I've just gone bad again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. W S A D. I'm just gonna put a little thing here saying movement, and then we'll make a little header here. Just say render graphics, and then I'm gonna say above that a logic as well. Logic, and in the logic, what I want to do is simply take a look at the camera move variable and decide on which way we want it to move. So all we actually need to do is say if camera move, in fact we can just copy this. So if camera move is 1, then we want to say camera y plus equals tiles.size, and then we'll say elif camera move, copy that again, equals 2, then camera y is going to go down, so we're decreasing tiles.size, and then elif camera move is 3, then camera x this time plus equals tiles.size, elif camera move is 4, then camera x minus equals tiles.size. Right, that, if I've done that correctly, that should work. So let's test it out, shall we? So if I try this, yep, there we go. It's moving around, but what we actually need to do is make it so we can actually stop moving. Because currently, if I try taking my hand off the key, it's just going to continue to move. So we need to make a key up. So elif event.type is Pygame.key up. Then we want to set camera move can equal 0. If I can type it, and there we go, we can now stop moving. So as you can see, we have just a default movement, and we can just move around here smoothly. And now what you're probably thinking is we need to actually make it so we can design stuff. So let's bring in our tile selector so we can see which tile our mouse is over. So we'll go into our logic and update a few positions, and so what I'm going to do is say, first of all, in order to actually place our tile highlighter down, we should probably track for mouse movement. So I'm going to say if event.type is a Pygame.mouse motion event, then we want to update our camera x and y. So as you can see, our mouse x and y is equal to 0 by default. So I'm going to say mouse pos can equal Pygame.mouse.get pos, and that'll just get our position as a 2-element list. Oops, daisy. So that'll get our position. Then we can say mouse x equals mouse pos 0, mouse y equals mouse pos 1. But there's a bit more to actually doing this, and that's to actually get it to around up to a tile position. So in order to track our mouse position on the coordinates, we're gonna have to come to the top and import math, so we can do some more like mathematics to track down it. So I'm gonna say it's going to equal math.floor. This is going to give us the floor of our number. So if you don't know what floor does, it always rounds down. So mouse pos 0 divided by tiles.size, and then we'll just do times tile. Wait, in fact, do we need, yeah, times tile. Yeah, we need to do that. because we need to basically round it to our nearest tile, basically, so it doesn't, otherwise the square is going to move anywhere, just anywhere completely, so it doesn't know. You'll see what I mean. I'll show you after. So math.floor mouse pause 1, divide that by our tiles.size, and then times it again by our tiles.size outside the floor. And then what I'm going to do now is actually draw our tile highlighter above everything else. So when I say draw tile highlighter, I'm actually just going to put selector in brackets, and I'm just going to say all we actually need to do is just simply blit it to our window. So window.blit selector to mouse x mouse y. Simple as that. And now if we get to run it, as you can see, we have a little tile highlighter that's going around where our mouse is. So you can see it, and you can't really see it very well against the grass, but if you come against this blue or something, it's easy to see. So you can see that it's like if we move our mouse just in this area, the grid, it doesn't change, it always rounds to the nearest tile. So see, we have it over this tile here, we can move our mouse around it, it doesn't change until we move our mouse to the next tile across. As you can see, it's flawed. And now I'm going to show you what would happen if we didn't do this. So if we just told it to do our mouse position, or just our mouse position alone, mouse pause 0, mouse pause 1, you'd see that it's just going to move smoothly. It's not actually going to go over any proper tiles correctly. It's just going to move completely anywhere. You can move it completely into anywhere. So it's not actually selecting the tiles, it's just moving around. So it's really important that we need this to floor the values. So as you can see, it's now working. And yeah, so that part is done. And for some reason it looks a bit like, it's like I'm getting a bit of low frame rate. I don't know why. Shouldn't be getting too low. Anyway, so now the next part is to actually start allowing us to paint. So we can actually like click and delete tiles or paint tiles down. So to actually start making us able to actually paint our tiles, we need to make a new event in our event loop, which is a mouse button down event. So I'm going to come up to our loop and just say if event.type is a Pygame mouse button down. So if it is a mouse button down event, then what we need to do is create a new tile as a list. And it's very important this time that we do keep it as a list though, because we may need to edit some of the elements. So I'm going to make here tile equals mouse x, because what we need to do is actually get to where our mouse is clicking on the tile grid. So we're going to do mouse x minus camera x, and that'll give us our exact location of where we're clicking. So minus camera x, and then our mouse y minus camera y, and then our brush we need to give here as well. So yeah, as you can see, we're going to keep this as a list. So we're going to have to do keep this as a list to remind us that we should not change that from a to a tuple, as it's very important. So now what I want to do is we need to do like a little we need to check if there's already a tile in this place, because if there is already a tile in this place, we're going to make it so they can't actually place another one down, as there's already one there. So in order to place one down, they'd have to remove the tile with the rubber tool. So, because otherwise, if we made it so they could just draw another tile over a current tile, this would cause a lot of unnecessary tiles being placed in our tile data, because if you think about it, we're going to place another tile over the top of another one, meaning that the one underneath is never going to be visible, even though it's still in our tile list. Which means when we save it to a file, it's going to just use up unnecessary amount of space, meaning that we don't need that. It's just completely unnecessary. So we're just going to make a variable called found equals false to start with, because currently we haven't actually found this a tile in this place. So now what we need to do is check for the tile. So we're going to say for t in tile data, if t0, we're going to say if t0 equals tile 0. So basically, in other words, if the tile's x position that we're looping through is equal to this tile's x position, and its y position, t1, is also equal to the tiles that we just created y position, then found equals true, and then we break. Because once we've found one already, we don't need to keep looping through it. It's just pointless, because well, we know that once we've actually found this tile, there's not going to be any more tiles that equal it, as there's only one tile of the same tile per list, so we can just break out after that. So the next part is to say if not found, which basically, in other words, if found equals false, then we're going to say if not brush equals or, and or is the rubber tool, so I believe. Let me just double check in my plan, because I know I did it somewhere. Yeah, it is. Right, so if it's not or, if the brush, wait, yeah, so if the brush isn't or, then we want to append our tile that we created, so to our list. So we're going to say tile data.append, and we append our tile, and then we're going to come down here and say else. So if it was found, so if the tile was already in this place, then we want to actually say if the brush equals or, then we can remove it, but else we can't do anything with this tile. So if brush equals or, then we're going to remove tile. So I'm going to say for t, we're going to have to loop for our tile data again. So for t in, or in fact, do we even need to do that loop? Tile data.remove t, if t, yeah, we do, yeah. So for t in tile data, we need to say if t's x position is equal to t's y position. Oh, sorry, no, tile x. Don't know why I'm saying that. Tile x. So if t's x is equal to tile x and t's y equals tiles y, then we're gonna say tile data.remove t, and then we're just gonna print tile removed. Simple as that. Just needs to look a bit neat, actually. And then I'm just gonna go and come up to this else. So if the brush isn't or, else we just want to print something. So print a tile is already placed here. I know this is kind of complicated to follow in your head, but just read it through a few times and it hopefully will make a bit of sense to you. So that should actually do it for our painting tiles. So let's give it a try and see if we can paint a tile. So if we click here, it'll say in the thing a tile is already placed here, and that is correct because the tile is already placed there. So we can click around. If we press F4, can we rub out? No, for some reason we can't, and this is because when we press F4, well, we need to actually make a hotkey that'll actually activate our rubber tool. Because if we come out here, look, we can place tiles on the outside, as you can see, and you can't but you can't place tiles on the actual map because the outside is not going to actually get saved to the map file, because when it's saving it, it starts from this tile 0 and it goes all the way down to the end. So that's the only issue with this, really. So what we need to do is make a new hotkey. So if key down, we'll say movement, and we'll just say brushes. So we'll say if event dot key is equal to Pygame dot key f4. We'll use f4 for our rubber, and then we'll just say brush equals all. And now let me try this, and we'll just, so currently our brush is equal to grass. So we press F4, now we can remove tiles. Great! As you can see, we're now removing tiles. And if we need to make another hotkey that'll actually set our tiles back to our map editor tile, so we can actually save or change the brush again. So what I'm going to do is just set, I'm going to make a new hotkey and say elif event dot key equals Pygame dot key f1. I'm going to use f1 for this. I'm going to make a new input, and I'm going to, in the console, they'll be able to have say an input and choose what brush they want. So I'm just going to say selection equals input. I'm just going to say brush tag. I'm just going to say brush equals selection. Neat. So now if we go and do this, if we delete some tiles here, and for example, one of our brush tiles is 2, which is stone. So I press F1, it says brush tag. We'll type a 2 in here, and we should now be able to paint with stone. Brilliant! Stone's there, look. And now we could say, we don't like this, let's delete that, we don't want that anymore. I'm actually going to place something else down. So if I press F1 again, let's this time say our brush tag is 7. This is actually a new texture I added in, by the way, and oh, for some reason this isn't wanting to place. Apparently a tile's already placed here. Okay, we've run into an issue with this. So apparently, I don't think that tile was a valid one anymore for some reason. Let's try 6. Tile tag 6. No, for some reason we can't place tiles in it. Okay, we've already found a bug somewhere which we could probably fix at some point. And it looks like once the looks like we can remove it once, but the next time we try to remove it, it won't remove, or it will, but it won't actually remove. I'm not too sure. It's kind of weird actually. Let me just try that again. Just say we have like a square here, and then we want to select our tile 7. 7. Wait, what the hell is happening here? I don't understand this. Right, let's remove some space. Okay, F1. Right, tile 7. Right, that should have applied tile 7. So no, it's still not painting. Okay, let me try tile 2 then. Well, it's not. What? This is just confusing. What is happening here? Okay, so found equals false, found equals true. I don't even understand what's happening here. I'll probably pause the video and I'll resume when I've actually found some weird issue that's happening. Okay, I've actually just been playing around, and I found it's not actually an issue with our code, it's just an issue with my tile data. So don't worry about that. It's not actually an issue with anything we've done just now. It's, as you can see, I just placed a bunch of tiles around here, and we can just place them back again. If I select the brush again, I can just simply add them back. So yeah, it looks like it's all working correctly now, which is good. Not too sure what was actually happening there, but if we had, in fact, you know what? Let me just rub out some these 4 blocks here. I'm going to actually show you my other tile. Oh, what? So, wait, there's something. No, something is going wrong here. Actually, something must be going wrong here. It's not. So it's working for grass and stone, but for my other tiles, it's just saying no, not working. I don't understand that. There's got to be some reason for this. I'm just trying to look into. I can't see anything wrong with our code. I've been looking for ages, and I cannot see. I've even put comments all over here just to remind me of what each thing does, and I can't find anything that I've done wrong. Brush is set to default. Okay, let me try that. Let me try and set it to default as 5 then. No, it just doesn't want to place. Let me just go to my textures again. Scripts, textures. Oh, maybe that's why. I've not even got those textures in it. I'm stupid. I am so stupid. Okay. Let me add them in. 4 is we need to add a pink rose equals load. Let me just make rose pink equals load texture graphics slash rose pink.png size and then rose red equals load texture graphics slash rose red .png size. So now I can just say rose red for this one, and 5 will set to rose pink, and we can close this out now and run our map editor. Oh, for goodness sake. An error. It's not even called that, is it? It's pink rose, I believe. Damn. What is it with me today and errors? Oh wow, it's not even in there, is it? How am I forgetting that as well? Let's just drag this in from our other ones. Graphics, environment. I'm just going to add roses in. They should be fine. Is our map editor gone? Okay, that's fine now. So now if I just select our 4 for rose red. What? One moment. That's... There we go. Yay. So now you can see we can actually place roses down. And all we need to do is actually just to place, we can place any texture we want. All we have to do is actually just add our textures to our tiles.texture tags dictionary. And we can add any tiles we want. So I could also add, I could just select tag 5, and then we could just go bomb, 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 bomb. Simple as that. But also keep in mind that any tiles we actually place around the outside of that map, are not going to actually get exported in the map file. The only tiles that will get exported in the map file are the ones from this, beyond this point, down diagonal. So anything in this green grass area, the default terrain, from 0, 0. So yeah, the next part is to actually probably get export it as a map file. So it's pretty easy to do that. So all we have to do is just come to the top and define a new method or function even, and we'll just call it export map, and we'll just put file in there. And all we have to do is we'll just set map data equals an empty string, because for this time, like before, we had to convert it from a string to a list. This time we have to convert it from a list to a string. So we're just going to make a new string called map data. We're going to get the map's dimensions. So get map dimensions. And the reason why this is going to be a bit more complicated to actually get the map dimensions is because we don't actually have built-in map dimensions. I know there's an actual thing. There's actually the default ones we made here, map width and map height. But how do we know that they're not wanting to place any more than just the default tile? They want to extend it, or they could want to rub part of the map out. So for the best optimization, we'll do map x equals 0, and we'll just calculate what the actual map dimensions are. Max x, not map x, and then max y equals 0, and we just have to calculate which is the max x value and max y. So we're just going to loop through. So for t in tile data, we're just going to say if t0 is greater than max x, then max x is going to get set to this, as that'll be our new maximum value. And we're just going to say if t1 is greater than max y, then max y is going to equal t1. Done. And then we just need to save the map tiles, which is very easy. So, oh yeah, by the way, this is a lot easier to actually export the map than it is to read a map and load a map. So, yeah, so what we want to do is just save map tiles, and just going to do for tile in tile data. We need to access all our tiles, so we're going to say map data equals map data, as well as a string of an int of tile 0 divided by tile size, and then we need to add on our plus our delimiter, and then we need to add on plus string int tile 1 divided by tile. Wait, I just realised it's not. There's no such thing as tile size, isn't it? It's tiles.size for this time. Tiles.size, and then we want to actually move on again, and we need to add our second delimiter, which separates our position from our tag. So plus colon plus tile 2, which is our tag, and then we add our final master delimiter, which separates each individual tile. So then plus that, and there we go. Now we can just hit enter there, and now we need to actually save the map dimensions as well. So I'm going to save map dimensions, and obviously our map dimensions go on at the end of the file, so that's why we need to do that after we've saved the map tiles. So what we're going to do is say map data equals map data plus string of the int of the max x divided by tile size, and plus comma plus the string of the int of our max y divided by tile size. Why do I keep putting tile size? It doesn't even exist. It's tiles.size. And then that does that. So that saves our map dimensions. Now what we need to do is actually write this to a file. So that's easy. We just do write file or map file, and then we'll just say with open file write as map file. We simply just do map file dot write, and then we want to write our map data, so map data. Simple as that, and that'll write and export our map. So let's actually add a hotkey which will actually export. So we could make a let's choose F11 for our map. I'm going to choose F11 for our hotkey. So if I come down here, we'll just go to our events loop again, key down events, and underneath here we can just add in save map, and I can click in the right place. All we have to do is just say if event.key key is equal to Pygame dot key F11. Then we're going to say export map, and we'll just give it a name. We'll call it actually, no, what we'll do, we'll make an input, so we'll say name equals input, and we'll just say map name, and what we'll do is just export it as name plus dot map, and that'll just create our file. So all we have to do, we don't have to put the name and dot map, it automatically add that in for us. So then we'll just print after that, after it's saved, we'll just print map saved successfully. Brilliant. And then let's try this then. So let's just say we're just moving around here, just creating a normal map, just designing a nice map to put in our application. So let's delete this tile, we don't want that. Let's just replace this with stone. So if I press F1, we'll select brush tag as 2, and then we can just place our stone into here. And then what I'm going to do is press F11, and it asks us for our map name, so I'm just going to call it world, and then there we go, map saved successfully. So if we close out of here now and we go to our directory, we should see, there we go, there's our map, and you can see if we go inside it, it is containing lots of data, and this contains all our tiles. So what we could actually do is test this out and see if we can load that into our world. So if I just rename this world, just call it world1.map, and that's our, this is our new world. We could get it to load this. So if we actually run our main, and there we go, it's actually loaded this map into our game, and you can see how good our FPS is. Even with this huge map, we're still getting a brilliant frame rate, which is exactly what we were looking for. So yeah, that's brilliant. I think I've changed my move speed a bit higher actually, because I seem to be moving very fast. So yeah, that is a massive step, and now we can actually design a map. So I think the next episode I'm just going to design a big map and for our game, and I'll put my map up for download as well, in case you want to download my map. And in the description I'll probably put the map editor download as well, so you can download that. And yeah, thank you very much for watching the tutorial. I hope this helped you a lot, and yeah, I'll see you in the next tutorial. Goodbye.